Here we go. Alrighty then, here we are back. If you are Frederick Real Estate Update, WFMD. All right, we ready? Cue us up. Can you hear me? It's good. Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hey folks, welcome back to your Frederick Real Estate Update. I am Darren Aher with Remax Results, bringing you over 23 years experience in the Maryland and PA region. And on this beautiful day now, we are in September. I have with me the man, the myth, the legend, sitting right here, the wingman, with all the money over in that vault at Presidential Bank Mortgage, Mr.
Terry Kernan.
You got it.
How we doing?
We're in September.
It's hard to believe, man. I will tell you that, but 4th of July show, I said, hey, it always feels like the end of summer on July 4th because the next 6 weeks go crazy. They disappear, and that's kind of what's happened the last 8 weeks, actually. And now we're into September.
Here we go, my favorite time of the year. You know what September means for me, too. You're an August person. You know I'm a September one. What's tomorrow, Terry?
Start of NFL football.
And what else? I'll be 54 years young. Can you believe it?
Your birthday. I forgot all about it.
I'm halfway through my life. That's okay.
I am sorry.
Hey, I don't expect you to remember my birthday every year.
I'm sorry. Well, you do get a Christmas card or a birthday card.
That's it. It'll be on the way. And there'll be a $2 bill in it, and I frame them every year. And that's part of my retirement plan is Presidential Bank Mortgage, and I thank God for y'all. You guys are going to save me at retirement.
Well, it's the greatest marketing we've ever done. We've been doing it for 20 years. Is
awesome.
Everybody gets a $2 bill, and I get pictures and thank you cards, and $1 bill is just not the same as a $2.
It's not the same.
It's an attention grabber, and we've been doing it, and it's awesome.
Yep. I love it. So next year, not only will I get my $2 bill, also next year, I'm going to get my AARP card. I can't wait. All right, let's get right into it. In real estate and mortgages, Terry, we're going to run through the numbers. Hope everybody is good out there. Welcome to your weekly dose of real estate. You guys are welcome to call in anytime, 301-694-9363, or text in any of your questions and things, and we'll be able to address those. But Terry, check it out. On this September 6th, we have 633 homes for sale.
Okay.
Steady. It's not going to be climbing because you know what? The best way, somebody asked me, in one word, Darren, if you could describe the real estate market in one word, what would that be? And you know what I told them? The word is called stuck. We're on 270 gridlock, and it's stuck right now. Like inventory is not going up or down, nothing crazy. Rates don't seem to be going up and down and crazy. This is not great. Nothing's crazy, but it's almost like a calm before the storm. Does that make sense?
It does, but stuck is kind of a negative connotation. To any, and right now the market, we're above 600. Yeah. We're stuck on a number.
That's what I mean. We're stuck. Like all the numbers and indicators and everything is like flat, stuck.
Nothing's moving.
Yeah, we're waiting for this shoe to drop. We're waiting for isn't there going to be something happening? Something big that's going to happen. And yeah, but you're right. Consistently, as far as activity, it's picking up. We've got more buyers. And as far as sellers, I have 2 more listings coming up here now. And so as far as activity, I feel like we could possibly be past the doldrums, like the lowest point of activity. But we're stuck on these numbers of I hate to tell you this, but they haven't changed much. And I'd love to be able to be like, oh my goodness, it went up 60, something that we could just be like, wow, we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing, though. You're right.
We're starting to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, right?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
I hear that.
Once we got over 600 active listings, I was kind of like, wow, this is really good. I mean,
buyers are excited. They're getting more to choose from a little bit.
And the fact that we're stuck over 600, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's good overall.
Would love to see 700 because I think that would drum up, but okay.
Yeah. So the coming soon 88, again, stuck. That was like that almost last week. And you know what's funny? It's not just us. I listen to podcasts, Terry, and people all week long, And so many of the same people like us that are sharing real estate news and updates and the whole 9 yards and the pulse and everything, they're saying the same thing. They're just like, I feel like a broken record sometimes because it's just stuck. It's quiet. It's just like there's not anything earth shattering. And we're wanting, for some reason, we just want something to be earth shattering, but we don't want it to be bad. We want it to be good. And I think what everybody wants to get unstuck, Terry, and I talked to the buyers, they want the dang interest rates to get unstuck. And what they want is $5.99. They want interest rates to go to 5.99. They want to go below 6. And we're going to talk about that, Terry. I want to know from you, what is it going to take? All right, resales, 485 of those. Average time the market, stock at 53, about the same. Okay. Median price, 500. Average at 573, same thing, very close. Under contract, 402. Sold in the last 30 days, 294. Resale of those is 264. And the average time, 30 days. And then an average of 545. And then the original to loan value. Remember, we've been talking about this number forever. And the list to price ratio, and this is after they made an adjustment, is at 99.3%. So what that means is this. And the other number, the big one, is from the original time a seller listed it. Because as I've said before, Terry, this is important because 40% of all sellers, okay, after 30 days or more have made a price correction because they woke up and realized, I missed it. I overpriced my house. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have let the agent do that. And now I'm chasing the market down and I'm coming down in price. That original before any adjustments is 97.7. So what that's showing now is that about 2.3%, 2.3% is how much is the average price correction to be able to get an offer. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but Terry, let's just talk about an average home, $500,000, right? Mm-hmm. What is 2% of $500,000? That's 10 grand.
10 grand.
2.3 is how much?
12.5.
There you go, 12.5-ish. So let's be honest. I don't know a seller on this planet that the minute they realize I'm $12,000 too high from the real market of what a buyer's willing to pay. They think here's the thing, Terry. They think they lost $12,500. You didn't lose anything. What you did is you overpriced your home and you had to come down $12,500 to get to, and that's the average, to get to where the market really is. And thank God it's only 2.5% or whatever. And because it could be a lot worse. I mean, let's be honest, it could be a lot worse. So I'm kind of shocked that that's really kind of all it is. Like I said, once that number gets to like 94%, 93%, that's crazy. That's people really missing it. But the good news is this teaches us, and this is showing us that most sellers, they get it now. They're getting it faster because we lived through 2.8, 2.9, and 2.10. And they don't want to wait. They realize, oh yeah, the market's changed. We really get it now. It took us a year, but we really understand it. The seller I just met this last week, they knew right away. So as I told them the prices are down just a little bit, and they went, yeah, we know. We saw 2 of our neighbors sell, and they're less than they would have been a year or 2 ago. And they were like, yeah, we know. So just tell us where we need to be. That I'm happy about, because now they'll put more money in their pocket by not maybe chasing the market down. So anyways, those are the preliminary good numbers on that. The 3 I'm going to touch on real quick that we don't talk about a lot. Temporary off market, 58 homes. What are 58 sellers doing temporarily hitting the pause button and keeping their house off the market while the days on market is clicking up? 58 homes. Are they painting? Are they landscaping? Is there, some going on.
Retreat and regroup.
Yeah, I don't even know. I was thinking about this. I don't know the last time I had a seller, a listing, where I said to them, time out, hit the pause button, let's put it temporary off the market, and da-da-da-da-da. I can't even remember. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not really terrible. In fact, it could be a really good thing because, like you said, they're regrouping. They're doing something with condition. They had 5 showings. Everybody's complaining about the paint or carpet or this or that or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay, I better do this or I'm not going to get an offer. You don't want to find that out later, though. And maybe they're just life regrouping. You're right. It could be a number of things, but 58 of them, I don't know, Terry. I just think that's high to me. I just think that's like what? That's a lot. All right, foreclosures, the distressed market, Terry. How many foreclosures do you think we have right now for sale in all of the county? Out of 633 homes, guess how many are foreclosures?
633. I'd say 12.
Six.
Okay.
6. But I don't know if you're paying attention. You know this, a lender, or you know what's happening. But if you can, I would like you to touch on October 1st, what's coming. Not only is the student loan repayment stuff kicking in even more, but all the FHA loans, Freddie Fannie stuff. They actually, I heard a podcast, they were calling it the new prime mortgage stuff. And I was like, what? It was really interesting. I got to send it to you. You'll like it.
Okay.
But they were saying how in October, the FHA, the delinquencies in non-performing assets and all these things are really going to start to, the numbers are going to start really showing. They're going to start catching up. And in time, as we know, a foreclosure, it takes 4 to 5 months of no payments to get notices and get on the list pens, it's called. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, are you going to pay your mortgage or not? Because as we know, servicers and banks, they don't want, or investors, they do not want your house. Foreclosure is the most expensive, tedious, crazy legal process, and they don't want your house. They want to help you. And that's why we had the forbearance, and that's why we have, they also mentioned on their loan modifications and some things and new rules, and you got to test it 3-month thing and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So October 1st is a very big day in the lending world, also with mortgage stuff. Short sales, guess how many of those? Now, do I think we're going to have a lot of foreclosures come out? I really don't. Not many. I don't think we're going to have a ton. No, not now. Now, in 6 months or a year, we could have a little different conversation. But I think the reason why we don't have them is because anybody that's going to be late on their payments, they lost their job or medical or something, hardship, whatever's happened, divorce, whatever. I think, let's be honest, the average person in the United States has $321,000 of equity in their home. Are you kidding me? In our area, it's probably a little higher. But the average in the country, I heard this last week, was 321. You're not going to let your house go into foreclosure. You're going to sell it and take hundreds of thousands of dollars and go to Hawaii and sell off in the sunset for a while. And who cares about my job? And then I'll rent and I'll regroup and I'll do whatever I got to do later. That's the worst case scenario when you got that kind of equity, right? But 6 foreclosures. How many short sales do you think there are?
Short sales, I'm going to say 10.
Yep, right on the money.
Okay.
10 short sales. And these are sellers that are not in foreclosure, but they are late on their payments usually, maybe not. But they own the house legally, but they owe more than the house is worth. Here's the whole thing with short sales. Everybody in our audience is thinking, how you just said in one breath, $321,000 of equity is the average in the American home ownership, but yet you got somebody that owes more than the house is worth. How in God's creation could that ever happen?
Well, let's think about it. Home equity line.
Woo!
Boom.
Tell us what a HELOC is. A HELOC to me says it's from hell. Get it? HELOC? It's from hell.
So I'd like to know how many of the 10 short sales have HELOCs that they went out and did a debt consolidation loan because they charged up too much on their credit cards.
Yep.
And then with the last year or so, appreciation not being what it had been, causing a problem and having to sell. And I think that will become more and more prevalent. I think a year from now, when you and I sit here, the short sale number will go up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the foreclosure number will be up as well. And I think it's that, it's that credit card train, credit card debt train that is just picking up steam, keeps rolling and keeps rolling and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that absolutely terrifies me.
Yep. And I think your refinance is going to be bigger because let's be honest, most people are going to refinance their home, take equity out, pay off their debts, and they'll go to that 6.5% mortgage because they don't want to be paying 25% on a credit card interest. Right?
Right.
So yeah, you're going to have all this kicking up more and more. But you know what's funny? It's actually really low numbers. So hey, there you go. All right, let's get into the mortgage updates, rates, and the Fed, and the this and the that, and anything you want to share that's going to help us to get the 5.99% interest rate.
Okay, I'll try to make this fairly simple and fairly quick. So what was the big report that came out this past week was the JOLTS, and that is the JOLTS report our job openings and labor turnover survey. Okay.
Oh.
And this is a report that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, measures employment, layoffs, job openings, and quits. And a quit would be somebody that just quits the job market. So that
that means they're not even looking.
That means they're done.
They're done. They're on the beach. They're done. Okay.
So what did it show? It showed in July that we had 176,000 less job openings. So what it's showing is that we're getting to see a weaker jobs market. And so, the big thing is, well, what does the Fed think? So let's talk about one of the Fed governors who's, his name has been thrown around for replacing Chairman Powell, and that's Christopher Waller. And he spoke on CNBC the other day, and he basically said that the Fed should be cutting this coming meeting. So when's this coming meeting? July 7th. We're out of July. September 17th. So I have said on the show that they need to cut September 17th. Do they need to cut a half a point? We may, depending on the jobs data and the inflation data we're going to see over the next 2 weeks before we get to the 17th, we're going to see basically the difference between whether they do a half and a quarter. But It's almost 100% guaranteed based on everything that everybody's saying, including Chairman Powell, that we're going to see a rate cut. Now, we talked about it last week. If we see a half point rate cut, our interest rates are going to go up temporarily. Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
That's going to be good news.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see an increase in the stock market. Things are going to start to look. What Governor Waller was saying was basically that the labor market, when it turns bad, and it turns bad in a hurry. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Okay. Happens fast, and the Fed needs to get ahead of that. And that's what Terry Kernan has been saying on this show. I've been saying that.
Get ahead.
Get ahead. You can't, because anything that they do today is going to take about 6 months to see the results. So they have to put their blinders on with this whole tariffs. They got to plow through that, and they got to look at this weaker jobs market that we're going to have. Okay. And they've got to get ahead of it. What do I think they should do? I think that they should cut a quarter at the end of October. Mm-hmm. They meet again on the 29th of October, and then cut again for December 10th. I think they need to just keep it at a quarter. Don't rush into a half, because once again, if you cut a half or a quarter, it doesn't really make a big difference.
Yeah.
It's what happens, the momentum going down. And I think that what we need to see is a unified front with the federal, with the Board of Governors. We're not seeing that. The federal governors, or the Board of Governors, including with Chairman Powell, there's a lot of dissension going on. We need to see a unified front.
Yep.
We need to see consistency in rate cuts. We need to see a positive talk on the 17th, basically saying that we are at the top of the cycle. We are going to start cutting. We feel that it is justified that we can start. We need to get ahead of this. We need to see a slower jobs market. We're seeing a slower jobs market. We need to get ahead of this. So my prediction is a quarter for the next 3. And if it is my prediction, but it's also what I believe needs to happen.
There you go.
Okay.
Good stuff. And rates now, though, we're really close to 6.5 still for the most part on the conventional?
So we're in the 6.5, 6.75 range. A lot of this depends, of course, on your credit score.
Yeah, a lot of factors.
Depends on your loan to value. But 20% down, 780 credit scores. Okay, you're looking in the 6.75, 6.5, depending on what loan you're getting. This is conventional. FHA's pushing closer to 6.
Yep.
We could start seeing FHA's under 6 soon.
That may be the first ones that do it.
That may be the first. That will be the first. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see a lot of momentum pick up when that starts happening.
Yep.
So my hope is that this 631 number, 633 number
of
listings Let's pump that up. Let's get that over 700. So get out there and talk to people about selling their home. Get people excited, because when the rates come down, people are going to jump all over it. Okay?
Yeah, they will.
We're starting to see a pickup. I'm seeing a pickup in two areas. One, I'm seeing a pickup in HELOCs. Okay.
Ooh.
A lot of people are saying, hey, I just need a temporary fix here. I got to get through the next year. When rates come down, I'm going to refi and pay it off.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing a big pickup in, hey, let's get going here. Let's get ready to refi. So people are coming in, and they're, people that have bought in the last 2-3 years where their interest rate is high. So they're ready to refinance. The people that are holding out with the HELOCs are people that bought or refied or bought, 4 or 5 years ago, and their interest rate's 3% or below.
Right.
They don't want to give that up. They're going to hold on to that as long as they can.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right. You ready for the big topic today? You ready? This is a big one.
Let's go.
Here it goes.
Let's go.
Thanks for sharing. That's good stuff. Guys, any questions, cares, thoughts, concerns, you need to call Terry. He will sit down with you and customize and go over every little aspect and your goals and what you want to accomplish, and see about everything, all of it, whether you're starting to purchase, first-time buyer, second-time buyer, this, that, investor, refinance, or just sit tight and wait, and here's your situation. At least you know where you're at. And if you need to know what your value is, get the heck away from Zillow estimates, please, for dear God's sakes. They're never right. It's like getting on Credit Karma. Don't do that. Give me a call. I will take a minimum of probably about 1 hour, and I will give you more information and a custom stuff that you've probably not seen in a long, long time, and you'll be happy that you did. I promise you. Whether you buy it, sell now or not, you'll have it. So, all right, what is a buyer to do? And Terry, have you ever fallen in love before? Of course he did.
One time.
And he stayed married forever. And that's a good
43
thing.
years ago.
There you go. How many?
43.
43. Congratulations. All right. Let me take you back to that time. But here's the difference, though. What happens if a buyer falls in love with not the love of their life and not the perfect home? I mean, it's like turnkey and this and that. And everything's about it. But they fall in love, Terry, with what we call the TLC home. The home with tender, loving care. It needs tender, loving care. It needs help. Okay? This is not a teardown. It's not a disaster. It's not the girl that has never been asked out on a date or the dance party or marriage. This is the girl that, she's got a little wrinkle in her dress, and, she's got a little bit of hairspray that missed the point. But man, oh man, TLC, I can bring it, and we're going to have a good time. This is the house, Terry, that makes us agents go, oh, so you want a house that you can put a little sweat equity into now, do you? And that's exactly it. This is someone that says, man, it's got good bones, and it's like the roof is not, falling in. There's no leaks. There's nothing majorly wrong, but man, it's got some serious cosmetic work. It's got painting to be done. It's got flooring. It's this, that, and everything else. And all of a sudden, like with any home, a good agent is going to make sure that they know what they're dealing with immediately and what kind of things in the condition of this home is going to be a problem potentially with the appraisal. We've talked about this. You go back in the last 2 programs on WFMD in the drop-down menu, and we're going to hit this, okay? And here's the thing. When in doubt, Terry, and this is what I do. A good agent is going to walk through the house with this TLC home they fall in love with, and we're going to take pictures. We're now going to make notes about peeling, chipping paint, broken windows, handrail issues, fogged up windows, this mold, you name it, whatever. Anything negative that falls in that TLC category that we go, I'm wondering what the appraiser may think of the underwriter about this piece of the part of it. All of them deal with health and safety issues, as we know. How many times have I done that, Terry, where I've called you and said, hey, I just saw this house. I'm sending you over some pictures.
Lots and lots.
I need you to look at these photos, and I need you to send them up the ladder, or you tell me, yeah, that's going to need to be fixed before the loan gets approved, or this may not, or that's questionable, right? So to get clarification is a really big part. And it's no different than calling your homeowner insurance and get a quote before we even write an offer. And make sure you call Connie and Amy Phillips over here in Frederick, okay? They're going to help you right away, and I love it because they've been able to give our clients quotes and binders the same day or the next day and be very close, and it's really good. So you can't do this being like, not being proactive. That's the problem a lot of agents miss. A lot of buyers, guys, they don't even know this. They're looking at a house, they fall in love. It's like blind love, falling in love first sight. They see the house and they think, oh, Terry, we can do this. We can paint. We can do that. We can do this. We can fix that broken window. We can do this. And all of a sudden, I'm the bearer of bad news. Why do you think I'm the bearer of bad news as a real estate agent?
Because a lot of times with a lot of the loan programs, especially FHA, especially VA, especially USDA, is you're going to have to fix those things before settlement and not after.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Why can't we do them? Well, the owner owns the house, not you. They start acting like they own the house already. We'll just come in and do this. No. Time out a minute. Now, I do have one that I'm doing now that we've been able to do that, and it is the most work we've ever done without a buyer owning the house that doesn't own it yet. In fact, today they just put a whole new roof on. They're painting, they're doing this, power washing the deck. They took a shed away that was 20 by 35, whole new roof, not a repair, whole new roof.
So the buyers,
are doing all this work.
Before they own it.
Yep.
Are doing this work.
Oh yeah, we're talking new roof and painting, and this needs done, that needs done. The foundational part needs treated. A shed was needed to be removed. The peel and chipping paint needs done. This needs done. The electrical needs certified. I mean, we're talking a laundry list, Terry, that I haven't seen in a while. And the buyers are excited because we're doing it and we're going to have it done within the next week. Appraiser's going to come out. I'm going to meet him. The appraiser's going to go, wow, this looks like an entire new house. Well, it pretty much is, lady. And all of a sudden, she's going to sign off on it. Loan's approved and we're done. And the buyer goes to settlement. Now, we obviously had to get approval. The seller gave full approval for a contractor to come onto the property and do all this work.
So is a contractor coming onto the property?
Yep.
And who's paying that contractor?
The buyer.
The buyer. And when is that contractor getting paid? At the settlement table?
Nope. They've already been paid half up front. They've already been paid half, and the other half will be done when they finish the work in the next week.
So as a seller, as long as it's a contractor,
yep,
and as long as the work is being done professionally,
correct,
it's a no-brainer.
Right. Harry homeowner, Harry buyer,
no-brainer.
You ain't coming on the property as a buyer to do this stuff. Well, you may be able to come on and paint, like stain a deck maybe or something silly, but you're not doing electrical work, plumbing, things that need licenses maybe, or the roof or danger thing. No, there's liability. There's too much involved.
Yeah, lots of liability.
Lots of liability.
So that's the biggest risk for the seller, because if the buyer walks away, the buyer's paid all this.
Yeah, and so we got that built in, and they got some protection. So we got 1 minute left. So here it is.
Oh.
The big thing we talk about is next, what is the strategy to build in this house, to build in the deal of how to deal with this if they didn't have the money? How do you deal with a rehab loan, or what loan types that can be done later? It just gets put in escrow at the title company that the seller is going to contribute closing help or repair money, and then it gets done later. These are the things the lender that are a little bit tricky. And a lot of buyers and us as agents, we don't know all the rules because there's so many of them. It's not a bad thing. It's just a risk and a protection thing, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing as we finish up. What if the seller wants to pay the contractor? Can they do it? Sure, it's allowable if paid directly to the contractor. Or must it be on the CD settlement final inspection gets done? Yeah, some loans allow this and money to be put in escrow. And that's the thing next time, Terry, we want to pick up on. What loan programs can it be put in escrow?
Okay.
And it's not this, it's not going to be too much pain, and it can get done, and all of a sudden everybody's happy and we're good to go. So, all right.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to your Frederick Real Estate Update. We're here each and every week, and make sure that you get in contact with us. Happy buying and selling. Take care. Have a great one.